Let's go! Hey everyone, I'm Martin, Developer Relation at Leclercq. And you know what? I know your last transaction amount. I know your wallet balance. I know your yield strategy and I can copy it, even if you spend months building it. And I know what you did last summer. I'm not a hacker. I didn't breach anything. I just opened a blockchain explorer. Why? Because blockchain is transparency. Transparency is what makes blockchain powerful, sure. But in finance, it can be a problem. Maybe for retail, no. Maybe you don't care about your transaction, but for institution, when they are building complex strategy, they need a bit of privacy. And today I want to talk about something I truly believe. It's, in my opinion, one missing piece in RWA and DeFi ecosystem is the confidential token. Ta-da! Yeah, I've got some sound effect. This is not how finance works. Traditional finance, positions are private, strategy are confidential, compliance is selective, but it's centralized. DeFi today, positions are public, everything is transparent, strategy are exposed. And it shouldn't work that way. Why? Because transparency can create systemic issue. Like you all know what is MEV, sandwich attack, strategy leakage, adoption ceiling. And the problem, without privacy, in my opinion, it's a blocker for DeFi and RWA scale. And institution and big company won't come and invest if there isn't any privacy. So that's not a friction point, that's a hard ceiling in DeFi adoption. And so what the fix? A lot of people talk about privacy, private transaction, shielded transfer, mixing pool. But that's really useful and I'm using it too. But it's not enough. We need confidential token. We don't need to just hide the transaction. We need confidential asset. We need private asset token, private transfer, private state. And it should be encrypted by default. This is the missing primitive. So how you can do that? Let's talk about the ERC 7984. You can think it as a wrapper. Like you can take an ERC20 and wrap it. So why I quote it? Because it's not a proper wrap. It's you will lock token and mint token with the ERC 7984. And then you can get some confidential token and then use it in an ecosystem, in a private vault. But you might think like, okay, Martin, but what is an ERC 7984? Sounds a bit complex. It's pretty simple. It's an ERC20. It's the same interface, but with encrypted state, with a confidential little layer inside. Like the balance of become a confidential balance of the total supply become a confidential total supply. And the transfer, you're right, a confidential transfer. We pass from the UWIN 256 to a byte 32. It's encrypted. And you might notice this small ENC handle. It stayed for encrypted handle. But what is handle? It's a key element in this architecture, in this protocol. Why? Because you won't use plain text data. You won't, or you could use directly encrypted data and compute them, but it means like you should use FHE, and FHE is not really powerful, it's really expensive, and it's not mature, in my opinion. So, encrypted handle, what is it? It's a a secret, like you all go to a club, a discotheque. And when you come to a discotheque, you can hand your code to the attendant. It will give you back a ticket. This ticket points to your code in the cloak room. It means this ticket, you can know nothing about your code. You don't know the color, the size, what is inside your code. It's just a ticket. It's a pointer. This handle, it's the same thing. It's a byte 32 point on a ciphertext in a really secure database. Your secret value is encrypted off-chain, and the handle is a pointer, not to the data itself. It's really important because you are manipulating handle, not the data itself. And the compute is done on handle, not ciphertext. And where it's a really important part, like where you could manipulate handle and ciphertext in a private space. Yeah, TEE, Trusted Execution Environment. It's a really important privacy technology. And specifically, Intel TDX, Trust Domain Extension. It's a really powerful one. But I know in this room some people are thinking like, yeah, TEE, it's hardware, you need to trust the provider, and we heard about breach of TEE. No. Honestly, it's basically impossible to break into a provider, Intel TEE provider, and just access the hardware, downgrade the BIOS, and etc., etc. But you're right, on itself, it can be maybe not enough. So it's why you can combine it with other privacy technologies. For sure, for the computation, we've got the TEE. For the speed operation in milliseconds, it's honestly really fast. The key management, because if I'm sending you $100, I will encrypt this data, and we need to encrypt it with a private key. But this private key, it can be a central point of failure. It's why we need MPC. We need to share this. We need to share this private key in multiple parts. It's a threshold cryptography using Shamir technology. So the trust, no single entity hold the key. And the last one, ZK. ZK technology, why? Because with TEE, you've got something called remote attestation. It's an attestation that can prove that the code and the operation and the math that happen inside the TEE are real and they happen in a TEE space. And if you want to store and make this remote attestation verifiable, it can be really expensive to store it directly in the blockchain. It's why you can use ZK technology to store a really light proof, and everybody will be able to verify this proof. So you can combine all that technology. It's become hybrid privacy-enabling technology. So we don't bet on one primitive. Each technology does what it does best. So let's talk about the C token, confidential token transfer. I should have the demo, but my computer is not working, so I couldn't do it live. I'm not scared about the demo effect, but it's a cable problem. So the confidential token transfer flow, a user in the demo can just encrypt. You've got some ERC20. You encrypt, I don't know, 10 USDC. Through the process, it will be encrypted and then wrap to an ERC7984, become a confidential USDC. And how does it happen? We are using smart contract. It will emit an event, and then the event will trigger the computation. What is this computation? It will just readjust the balance of each token. And everything happens in the TEE. Transfer, decrypt, check balance, compute new balance, re-encryption. So everything is fully secure. And then the new balance, the new handle point to the new balance are stored in a really secure database. This is a demo. It's live. You can test it right now. But I can send you the link just after. And you know the user, you can see the public asset, confidential one. You can reveal, you can sign. We are using EIP 712. You can reveal the amount, you can unwrap, transfer, of course, and we've got selective disclosure. It's really important because confidential token, I'm talking about institution adoption. And if I transfer you some money, it can be shady, like everything, as you can see there, it's zero. Even if I'm sending you 10K USDC, it's zero. It's a confidential transfer. So if a state come and say, hey guys, looks like shady, I wanna have access to this, can I? Of course you can. Because privacy does not mean opacity. We need to set in this architecture a disclosure by choice. It means if someone asks me, like, I need to see this transaction, I need to see this balance, I should be able to reveal it and authorize people to access. It's why you've got, through smart contract, an ACL engine. It's an authorization, it's a granting authorization engine when you can store, like I can say, if I come back to there, if I click there, selective disclosure, I can select a wallet and say, you will have access to my USDC balance. Okay, great, but is it forever? No. You remember, a balance is a handle. Handle point to a balance. I will authorize someone to access to one handle. It means as soon as the handle changes, you lose the authorization. So it's a really selective disclosure at a specific moment for a specific amount. And then you can get back your ownership. And it's really, really important to be compliant if we want to scale the adoption, the institution adoption, if we want to onboard the next generation of user. So real use case today, there is plenty of, like private credit, lending, stocks. I think currently RWA, I think in 2027 or 30, we will have more than 30 billion asset under management in RWA. It's why this architecture, this technology can enable that. That's pretty cool. And another pretty cool stuff, because it's a lot of pretty cool things in my presentation, we are compatible. I say we because at IXEC we build this. It's not like a theoretical things like, hey, I would like to do it. No, it's live, it's working. We've got some builders starting to build some stuff, and it's compatible with the ERC 3643, even the ERC 7540. That's pretty cool because you can mix it, you can use it with other ERC standards. From concept to reality, yeah, I don't know why it's broke, but we've got different layers. The confidential ERC 20, I talked about, it's the base, then the ERC 7984, the multi-privacy layer, because just if we're talking about privacy layer, just only one, it's not enough. You need to combine them. Everybody knows that. Even, you know, other privacy tech company are combining with other technology we need because it needs to be safer with privacy and selective disclosure. dApps SDK, because if you want to onboard builders building the next DeFi unicorn application with privacy, you need something easy to integrate. A simple SDK, or even just you import a library Solidity in your smart contract and you can just transfer the, from the UIN 256 to byte 32 and it's become confidential. It's pretty easy, and we even got an amazing wizard. And you can build your smart contract in a minute. Confidential compute, really important, TEE-based hardware, everything happen in it, and smart contract, I talked about it. So Knox protocol in a nutshell. Composable. Of course it needs to be composable, because you can't work with only like, oh, I want to work with Avi, but I can't work with Morpho or other protocol. You need to be composable. Easy to use, as I say, and simple SDK, then you can wrap, unwrap, transfer, disclose, BIM. And with vibe coding, it takes, I don't know, maybe a few hours to build your app. Trustless, for sure. You need to prove that it runs as a TE, and it's why we've got the remote attestation. But we go a bit further. I don't know if you heard about proof of cloud. Proof of cloud is a way to prove that your TE is running in providers such as Amazon, Azure, etc. So you've got the proof that it's not a shady server far in the world. It's something legit, and you can trust it. Multi-privacy, I talked about it. Scalable omnichain. Currently we are on Arbitrum and Arbitrum Sepolia, but you can deploy it really easily. It's kind of click and deploy. So we could be tomorrow on your chain. We can be everywhere. And selective disclosure, the important piece for the institution, the big company. Oh, already? Yeah. That's all. Thanks. Any questions? I'm sure we've got plenty of, because it was an amazing presentation. Yeah, I got one. Not too complex, not too technical, please. I'm only the developer relation.
You did pretty well with the explanations. I think it's quite clear. The question is, who has access, like who can de-anonymize the transaction, like this selective disclosure? Is it only the user?
Yeah, only you.
Okay,
like, you've got your balance, you've got your wallet, you've got your confidential token. I'm the state, French, I don't know, and I say, oh, I want to see your balance now, like this transaction. You can just, I send you a wallet, put your wallet, grant access, and in the demo, you have access on the list of who are granted, who are revoked. And you give me access, but only for the handle. As soon as you are doing another confidential transfer, I don't have access anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's it.
Thanks. Why should all Ethereum transactions?
Sorry?
Why should all Ethereum transactions be this way?
Oh, I did. Can you? Sorry, the microphone is coming. I'm French. So
why shouldn't all Ethereum transactions?
Why should
not
every transaction have an Ethereum?
Right. I mean, why isn't everything like this?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We are building the first bricks, and I think in the coming, I would say in the coming weeks, no, but in coming months, coming year, it will become a standard. Like, for sure, like I think everybody is talking about privacy, like, oh, privacy, but honestly, who care about privacy here? Who, when you are doing a transfer, like, oh no, I don't want you to see my transfer. You don't care. It's for institution. And now we've got big tech, we've got institution that interested in stablecoin, yield, strategy, more and more. Now privacy have to become a standard, and it will. And it's exactly why we are working on it. We started the company in 2017. We passed through a lot of projects, and we've got a pretty deep understanding of this ecosystem. And it's why we deeply trust in this, and it will become a standard, for sure. So be reassured. Let's talk in 1 year. IXEC everywhere. I hope.
You want more question?
You can try the demo cdfi.ix.ec. It's live. Get your confidential token. You can confidentially buy me a coffee if you want after.
Okay. Thank you for our presentation.
Thank you.